That's a harder thing to change, I feel.
Yeah, than a shirt. Yeah, I reckon.
Your underwear? Well, I guess that requires taking.
No,
it
I'm talking about the
Alright.
Cheers to us.
Cheers!
Hi everyone! Welcome to yet another edition of your MackZaddy podcast.
Oh yeah.
Today we're talking about something a little bit exciting. So we've got a topic day today. We are going to be talking about choreography and routines.
Awesome.
Woo!
Whoa.
Yeah.
I personally have never done a routine.
Ever.
I don't know about you guys.
Never.
I'm a bit. Yeah, I don't have that much experience. in it.
You've learnt how many routines do you reckon you've learnt now?
How many have I learned?
That's a hard
That's
question.
a
That's like a few. Well, we were like when I started doing like beginner routines.
What's some-
2 routines a year or something?
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
we used to have beginner and intermediate, right?
Yeah.
So what was the most memorable routine you've learnt?
My favorite one has got to be stay.
Stay?
It was the
Yeah.
name of the routine. Well, Maddie and I did it together.
That's why it was so memorable and
right.
amazing.
Yeah. Actually, that was a really fun
It
one.
Did I
was a
teach
fun
that one?
routine.
Did I teach that with Jess Sweeney?
Jess, I think. I think
Yeah,
you might have done.
Probably. I know
Yeah.
you
It was
just
your favourite
taught a few.
because Jess and I
It was
taught
the one where we
Yeah.
had did it.
Yeah,
That one.
yeah. You know what I do
Yeah.
remember when we performed it? We did the big the hip thrust to the audience,
yeah.
and it
great.
didn't get as much of a cheer as I thought it would.
From when
memory.
you did it, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon it did.
I definitely
What?
got a
They
cheer.
didn't like the 14-year-old hip thrusting at them.
that's
I don't
what it
know.
was.
That could have been.
What about
it,
you, Maddie?
maybe.
What's your favourite routine you think you've learnt?
Oh God. Well,
Most memorable.
that was pretty good. However,
Maybe most memorable or favourite?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was really fun doing the retensive for John and Tarts
Damn it,
How to
you
Save a
stole
Life.
mine.
I know. Yeah, it's a swing tack. They have this retensive that they do, or routinesive. So on one of the days of the event, you actually learn one of the pros classic routines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
so
did
it's
How to
Jordan and-
Save a Life.
Jordan and Tarts How to Save a Life.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, we did it, 6 hours? I think we did it in.
Yeah, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Awesome routine.
Was it hard?
It's crazy. It's like one of these pro couples that you see and you're like, there's no way I'll ever be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then they teach it to you and you're like, why are we getting this in 6 hours?
It's 6 hours.
So yes, it was hard, but surprisingly not enough to be able to do in 6 hours,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yes, it was challenging,
But
but
I'm
I
fairly
wouldn't.
sure, like, you had to be, I don't know even know if advanced were allowed to do it, but you had,
Oh, right.
I think it was majority all-stars that did it too.
Well, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was kind of good.
Because all the
Yeah.
people, well, there was a shit ton of all stars then. Because
So many.
yeah, that whole ballroom was packed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah, that'd be mine too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It
Yeah.
was a pretty great experience.
And you performed it?
Well, you had the option to.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had our own routine that weekend.
It was the first time we ever been in the States together performing a routine together.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, like, potentially sabotage
Your other
our
one.
routine.
Fair enough.
I was very sad that we couldn't perform
Yeah.
it.
Zach definitely
sad.
wanted to. And I was like, I
Yeah.
need to focus on one. This is too much.
Yeah.
Was this the first time you had ever done more than one, like, have you ever performed more than one routine? You have, yes. But when did you,
Does this guy even know me?
like, so people keep coming to me and they're like, how do you remember 3 routines, like 2
Yeah.
pro-ams and a and then team routine and then our routine? Like, what's the most routines you reckon you've done at one comp?
At, like, a West Coast swing event?
Correct.
Probably 4.
4?
4 routines?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think, well, the thing is, like, the memory's like a muscle. Like, if you're not used to exercising it and you don't do many routines, you struggle.
Why were you so nervous then doing the other one when we were in America?
Well, it was because it was literally our first one in the States.
Ugh.
And I was like, I don't think I can handle doing 2 in one night. It just seems like a bit much.
I was so excited to do it.
To be fair, we ended up winning, by the way.
Yes.
So it all worked
Yeah,
out for
that's
everyone.
it.
It's fine.
Who knows? We might have lost if we
Yeah.
did the other one.
We
We'll
might
never
have.
know.
We'll never
No.
know. But we might have.
Yeah, never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I remember, I was trying to think, because I think someone did ask me the same thing of like, how can you remember so many routines? I think it was Fook,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
over after doing your routine last weekend. And he was like, yeah, how can you remember doing like multiple ones? And I guess, mind you, I've not actually,
How many have you done in one
I think
event?
the most I've done would have been like 2
Yeah,
at an
okay.
event. Swing Station will be 4.
4?
Yeah,
You're
it will be 4.
Because the
it's
2 team routines
two of mine
and
and
then
then
2
the
that
2
you
team
and Sean
routines.
Yeah.
So that'll be, we'll see how that goes. I feel like it'll be fine. I kind of talked to Fook about it, but I was saying like, it's I don't find the struggle, or at least I've not recently felt the struggle on doing multiple routines because they always just feel different because the music's always so different. And at least when I'm learning choreo, all of the moves I'm doing or like the things I'm dancing to are always to something in the music. So I could recognize that part of the music is like at least in my mind to this thing.
Yeah.
So like I guess in that sense, like I haven't found I've overly struggled in memorizing like multiple routines, but I've not actually performed multiple ones in one night. So we'll see.
We'll find out.
See how it goes.
Gold.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We.
What is mine? I think mine is probably like
5?
6. I had a jazz, hip hop.
No, at West Coast Swing Dance events, my love. If that was the case, then mine would be higher than 4.
Well,
but you said West Coast Swing events. You don't do jazz routines at West Coast Swing events.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, 4 or 5. I did the 2 team routines, 2 pro-ams, and our routine. Yeah, there you go.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What were the pro-am routines you did?
It would have been
Mel?
with Mel and Kylie.
Yeah.
And then I did a routine with you.
Alan.
And then there was a team routine that year as well.
Yeah.
So only 4. Yeah.
Still feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Were they all in one night?
Yes,
I don't know.
I think it was at one event. It was in.
Oh
one
yeah,
night.
actually, because I had to do the costume changes. Yeah, that's the fun part.
Nice. Yeah, the run off stage and like frantically get ready for the next time you're going out.
Make your costumes as minimal as possible when it comes to that kind of thing. But
I know. When me and Rashania perform it, what is it? It'll be Asia Open. I'm just wearing the same shirt for both of them.
Nice.
I'm just changing the pants.
Wait, you're changing the pants?
Oh, and I'll tuck the shirt in the second one. So it'll look a little different.
You should change your underwear too while you're at it.
Oh, we'll see. I'll think about different routine underwear for different routines.
Oh, God. That's
awesome.
a harder thing to change, I feel.
Yeah, than a shirt. Yeah, I reckon.
Your underwear? Well, I guess that requires taking.
No, I'm talking about the pants.
No, just rip it all off in one go.
That is gold.
That
Nice.
makes a lot more sense. Damn. All right.
So there's some things that obviously go into routines, and where do you start, Mackenzie? Because you're now getting more into it, like making your own routines.
Yeah.
So many.
The first one you ever made was with Jess. Talia. Talia or Jess?
So it's a bit hard to. So with Jess, that was the first like classic routine I did. And I didn't really do much of the choreo. I think you and Jess did more of it than I did. We kind of like had like.
It was a pro-am, didn't it?
I went into it thinking it was a pro-am,
okay.
but Jess then we were doing like we were training one of the days, and I was like, so we're entering pro-am, and she was like, no, this is a classic routine, and I was like, what the fuck? Whoa, calm down, just 1 minute there. I was like, I thought you were my teacher and I'm the student, and we are pro-amming this business, but apparently not. So
just dive straight in.
it was. And I haven't seen it in a while. I think I've seen it like one time.
You
There's
look
a DVD.
so little.
It was
my goodness.
It was cute. It was really fun.
It was a good routine.
I think we kind of like had a real basic choreo like structure there, and then like you came in one day and kind of like revamped a lot of it, changed a lot of things, and then fixed like that last, but there was like a big hit at the end that you like choreographed. So I would say you and Jess choreoed that more than I did.
Oh, sweet.
And then with Talia, we did, I think, most of the choreo as well, with like help, I think, again from you guys.
Yeah.
And then Rashania was like the first time I had properly done like all of it.
Start to finish.
We did get help from like this popping dancer in Brisbane.
You even got help from us and then decided not to use any of it.
Yeah.
That was the biggest waste of time of my life.
No. You guys gave us a lot of tips on like technical stuff that actually helped a lot of the things we were struggling with.
I'm glad
like
you got something out of it.
Something,
the one
hopefully.
footers were like
3 hours.
But yeah, I think that was like pretty cool. We had a little bit of help, but it was mostly us. And then this most recent one has like all been us. We went back to the popping guy again to see if he could give us shapes. Helped us with one thing that's like really freaking cool, and if we can nail it, it'll be really awesome. But the rest of the stuff we brought to him, he just was like, this is really cool already, and he just gave us like technique stuff behind it.
Sick.
So yeah, that's been pretty cool. So yeah, up until recently, I've choreographed a few routines now, in recent times, which is pretty cool. I think.
How'd you go about choosing your song?
So the last one we did, or our first one, Sexy Back, we actually landed on a different song before that. We're going through a bunch of different songs. I can't remember the first one we picked in, but it was pretty gangster. And we picked it and we're like, oh yeah, this is really cool. And then like 2 days later, we like met up again. And I like was like, I'm actually not feeling this song. She was like, cool, I'm not feeling it either. So I was like, sweet. Then I was like, I really liked that song I did with Emmeline. And she really liked it as well. So I was like, we can just use that song, right? There's no rules against that.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. And then we picked it. And yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
The choreo was slow. I think that was like the first, well, I guess technically the second routine we had ever done together.
Yeah.
So it took a little bit. It took a while. The choreo was very slow.
Yeah.
But once it was
the
done,
process was slow.
the process
Yeah,
of
yeah.
actually doing the choreo was like, yeah, really, really slow. Like it took a while. But then once it was done, really, really cool. Once it all the choreo's done, it's just like training it.
Because you guys train for longest, probably, maybe not the longest couple I know, but you guys train for 12 hours a week.
Yeah, give or take. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
more, sometimes it's less. I think Sexy Back, we tracked all of the time. We spent 100 hours on that, on the last one. And that
Do
was
you aim
about...
for the 100 before you like perform it? Is that what you're
We
trying
didn't,
to do?
no, that's just what it had happened to be. Like
Yeah,
we got
right.
to like 100 hours on that.
Yeah.
And that was over about like 2.5 months. And then,
2.5 months.
so that was like, we were doing like full weekends.
Yeah.
And then this new one, I think we do now that we hit the 100 hour mark on the last one, this one is kind of like, fuck, can we get to the 100 again? We're at like 50 something at the moment in terms of hours. So like, still a little while to go, but 3 more weeks, so we could.
Isn't it done after you finish choreographing it, though?
Yes.
You're just tidying, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think. No, we just changed something. Oh my god, we spent 4 hours on
man.
like this one section, just
How
like
many
fixing
counts?
it up.
Go on, say it.
So
Say it.
What is it?
4 hours on how many counts?
Like 8.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
God.
it's all fun.
Oh,
It's all
damn.
so much fun.
It's so fun. It's so
It's
fun.
so depressing when you watch it. Like that's like a blink in time that no one's ever gonna even.
But it's really cool now. We really got to a point where it was like, all right, I'm really happy
You
with
fucking
this.
hope it's cool for that much time for 8 counts, dude.
And it was like
Oh my
straight. We didn't even
God.
like break through it. We were like, we just like smashed it out and we're like, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's keep
Yeah.
it here.
I hate the moment where it seems like this 8 counts is just beating you up and it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time you do it, it's like, why is it working so easy right now?
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Why
Yeah.
did we spend so much time on this move
Yeah.
and now it's where like the next day it's just beautiful.
We spent 2
That's
hours
it.
and 4 counts, to be fair, actually.
Yeah.
On the
okay.
new one.
Okay. Cool. So
Yeah.
like it's tracking. It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Oh,
we
that's
literally
it.
came back the next weekend and we just did it, and I was like, this is fucked.
It's like,
Yeah.
why? What the fuck is
And
happening?
sometimes it's
Oh,
just like
man.
that because we've done times where we'll do choreo. It just flows really nicely. We like
Yeah.
get a bunch of stuff out, and it's
Sometimes
like,
you
oh,
just
this is
get
really cool. And then
creative
sometimes it's less. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I'm happy with it. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to perform it. What about you guys? You guys do a lot of routines.
Yeah.
Or have done in the past.
Yeah. What are we up to now? Yeah. Wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6
This
routines.
is our 5th classic routine. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's our 5th classic routine that we've done.
Yeah.
We've-
Is there
Together.
like?
Yeah, together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've obviously done other ones separately,
Yeah.
but
Different partners.
Yeah.
yeah. So I usually choose the songs,
Oh yeah.
and
I hate that part.
Choosing songs.
I really like that part. I do and I don't. Like I like listening. I'm very visual when I listen to songs. Like I think I visualize things that I can see happening in the songs,
Yeah.
and you know, like when you're picking a song, you look for like a really nice journey and flow, like an energy. So you don't want anything that flat lines.
Yeah.
You want something that like has ebbs and flows and has like a really different kind of energy through it.
Yeah, or just builds epically or drops. Like has contrast. That is even if it doesn't have contrast in the song, that you know you can show contrast through your movement.
Yeah.
So that it brings out something in the song.
Yeah.
So, like telling a story through the song, basically. But I think that part I hate more than the rest of it because there's
Picking
two
the
of
song?
us. Yeah, there's two people that we have to please. Like, and my ideas aren't the same as your ideas, and yours aren't the same as mine. which is perfectly normal and it shouldn't be the same. Which was why some things are so cool and some things are terrible when you come up with them, Eddie. No, I'm joking.
So this is the thing, right? So
I'm joking.
we have we have a song and we've picked a song. He's happily agreed to and very eager to do the song we picked. But then later on, he'll complain about the song that's being picked. And I said, okay, if you don't like the song, give me another alternative.
This is for
None.
demos.
There's
This is for
never
demos
songs.
and everything. Because like, it's like I think I've only known one of our songs. The
That you've demoed to.
That is not true.
no,
Oh,
no,
like
we
that
demo
you've-
too. That
oh,
we
that
did a
you've done
routine
routines
to.
too.
No diggity.
No diggity. That's the only one, and that's an old as fuck song.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I've never heard any of the other songs we did until we actually like.
Found them to the
Found them.
routine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
No
To be
diggity
fair,
was
and,
the only
like,
one I
it's
knew.
got-
Yeah.
I guess you kind of learn the songs when
Definitely.
you're spending that.
Definitely.
You'll learn the
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
I think No Diggity is the first time we've used a song like that's well known.
I feel like
Cool.
sometimes doing a routine to different songs is good that people don't know because then, especially if you hear that song come out into like the circuit when you're going around to events, then you know it's kind of a cool song
Yeah.
that you've played or done it.
I guess that's the other thing,
Yeah.
especially with like picking songs. And I think maybe this may be, I don't really know how people overall feel about this, but like picking songs that other people have either done or have picked themselves,
Yeah.
or like popular songs, or like really cool songs to dance to.
There's more pressure.
Is like, or like if heaps of people already know the song, then it's like, oh, everyone knows what to expect. Or everyone knows like what the
Yeah.
music's going to be giving. So you're wanting the routine to give the same.
There's no
or
surprise.
it's like when you're going through songs you want to pick, it's like what out of these lists haven't actually already been done by someone else already?
Yeah.
I think what's
Yeah.
a really good idea though that a lot of people tend to do when it comes to classic is they'll have a really well known song but they'll pick a different version.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of like the song like you may not recognize the song when it starts playing and then it comes on and everyone's like, oh, it's this song, but it's like a really cool different edgy version of what you're used to hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I think
remix,
is a
so
smart thing to do.
It's a remix, so it's
Yeah.
not like you're expecting the same hits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
And I guess, and then like even more on that, I guess there's like, I did this with Sweeney and then Talia as well of like getting our songs edited or like changed specifically for the routine.
Who by?
Actually, I don't know about Talia's one. Maybe Talia's one. We had our one, Sweeney and ours one, we got Sai to like do a remix of the song. And I think it was like kind of in the same vein of like No Diggity. Like very different song, but like kind of like the same kind of build up to like a really like electronic
Yeah.
like ending.
So we had-
DJ Simon
yeah.
Pius, by the way.
Yes,
DJ Simon
yes.
Pius is
Daddy-
amazing.
Daddy
We love you,
P,
Sai.
Daddy P.
Love you,
Yep,
man.
little
Thanks for
shout
looking
out
after
to
us.
you.
Yeah.
I love also Matt Fairbairn's. His
Oh yeah, actually he does a really good job
his
too.
stuff he does as well is really cool. I think with Size stuff, what we did, we had given him the songs, and he's like, "Yep, we'll use that one, that one, that one, that one," and he
yeah.
mashes them together.
Yeah.
Whereas what Matt's done, he does the same thing, but then he adds like breaks and stops
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Sean McKeever,
That was a really interesting process.
that was cool to see.
Yeah.
His whatever app or whatever thing he uses, he told me, I can't remember what it was.
Starts with A. I can't remember either.
But it was
Hey.
amazing. And the way they do it is they start with the song and they actually make the song fit the vision that they would like to do.
Yeah.
Instead of making like
choreo
your choreo
fits
fit
to
the
the
song,
Yeah.
they actually make the song change so that they can do what they want to do.
Curry first, music second.
Yeah, well, it's actually a really cool idea because like we worked with Sean and Melissa on our latest one, and they were talking about how you also want to cut the song in a way that stimulates an emotional response from the audience. So like the very start, he's taken basically all the music out and it's just the vocals.
Yeah.
So when it starts, it has like more of an impact, like a really like I don't know, emotional response from the audience.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you hear it for
and
the
there's a
first
bit
time.
of a like
cool.
hesitation between like you feel like there should be something else in the song, but there's
Yeah.
not. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's happening? And then gets people a little bit interested that way.
There's nothing like showcasing or like exacerbating something. by,
The word that I'm thinking of is not.
Wait,
there's nothing like
if this is another words reel.
no, let me use a different
Welcome
word.
to Silly Words with Zachary.
Silly
Silly Words with Zach.
Zachary.
Zachary.
Anyway, there's nothing like
What are you trying to say?
Well, now all I can think about is exacerbating. I guess the point I'm trying to make is there's something about impact of like taking things away to, I guess, forefront something else of like taking away the music or like the drums or all the background stuff and then just leaving in the lyrics that kind of like...
I don't think that's the word you wanted then. No. But that's okay.
I don't know.
It'll come to us later.
Someone in the comments will figure it out for me.
We should do this a thing every reel. We just can't think of a word.
Can you tell us what we're trying to talk about? Because it would be very
Please
helpful.
explain what we're trying to say.
If you guess the word that I was coming up with.
Cool. That's really cool. I actually did want to ask about that because...
About his word?
No, I don't want to ask about it.
So moving on.
Segue.
I don't think that's correct.
I guess...
Anyway.
Oh my goodness. So, with the routines, right? So we've let's say we've chosen the song. We've even kind of like imagined what it looks like in our head.
Like an A.
And then after that, what's happening is we're getting the song probably cut or edited or mixing a bunch of them together. And then we do some choreo, like actual physical choreo, not visual choreo, like visually stimulating our brain cells to the song.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is kind of how it
Putting your
goes.
visuals into moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Physical
I guess
things.
once you get to that stage of actually moving and doing choreo and physically stimulating yourself as opposed to just visually, how would you guys approach that? How does it kind of look like when you're starting a new routine, going into choreo? Do you guys like enter it kind of like, do you enter it kind of having it? Sorry. No, I'm just so derailed.
So we've done it a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
We've our first four or first three were choreographed with Ben.
First three.
First three were
Yep.
choreographed with Ben Morris. Thank you very much, Ben. You are a legend.
Amazing.
One of the reasons I feel like I'm at the level I am now is because of learning all of the different movements and how he thinks about music and how his brain works.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. So the way we did that when he came out to Swing Station, we would take, I think, how many hours did we do it in? 6?
6 hours.
Over
We
6
usually
hours?
set aside at an event to do it. Yeah.
So we would get together and Maddie and Ben would start choreographing with the song, and he would say, what do you like, what do you not like, which version do you want? And I'd just be like, yep, that one, this one, that one.
In regards to the song?
No, the choreo.
Yeah, he'd have like
okay.
ideas on something to do. It was usually very literal with the lyrics, with a lot of the stuff he did. So
Yeah.
he'd kind of act, and some of it lyrical as well, but he'd like do something and then say, do you want this version? Do you like this one?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
So then this also like transitioned into the next year where it became, okay, what moves do you want to put it in? Like, and we had a couple of tricks from here and there, put those tricks in. Then the year after that, it was just kind of like, I think that was the last one we had. And it was awesome. We did it together and we're like, this needs to be the hardest one we've got. We're getting better now. What level were we when we started doing this? Advanced?
Advanced, yeah, when we started, yeah.
So,
Like with that first one?
with the first routine.
Yeah.
So we had progressed through levels. I think by the end of the third one we were All-Star.
Yeah, the third one we were All-Star, yeah.
Cool.
Maybe even the second
I think, halfway through the second, I think we became All-Star,
Yeah.
so,
So yeah, then we ended up, we did those a year for each one. Then we decided, okay, we got to just like, a lot of people for some reason don't like seeing us getting routines choreographed by other people. And I don't know if it was an actual thing that they were annoyed with, or
Like they didn't like seeing you
no,
getting choreographed, or just like knowing that someone else had done the choreo.
I think the
Like-
second one.
it was more the fact that they were like, oh, you guys are good enough to do your own, choreograph your own routines, why don't you do it yourself?
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with them. I know I'm good.
I
I'm
never
joking.
said that to you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Me, however, you said that to me though.
Yeah, you do say that a lot more than Maddie.
You're just so good.
But I also put it back to what I said at the beginning. I wouldn't be at the level I am now without understanding how Ben and that process happened. So we decided to challenge ourselves and, put what they said to the test and do some. That brings on another level of challenges, finding the time,
Especially if you're dating that person.
finding the communication skills, finding the... Because, okay, so what for me
We
is
almost
a
broke up
challenge.
over that routine.
The challenge...
The second
Did
one?
we? No, we didn't.
It was rough.
Really?
The last routine, yeah. The
last
grey,
routine.
the grey emotional one. It was very early in our relationship, I think, as well. We struggled a little bit with the communication.
I don't even think we were in a relationship to start with.
Yeah, we were. This was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, getting back to where the communication, the hardest part for me is that I would like to, because we dance so much, we're teaching twice a week. That's not including privates in the other date nights of the week. Plus filming podcasts, plus editing, plus
Going to events.
I was doing 2 Pro-Am routines. I was focusing on Pro-Am routines.
Yeah.
Not even really focusing on our routines.
Yeah.
Going to events, all that sort of stuff. Then it was like, when I had time, I want to come home and cuddle on the couch, watch a movie, maybe do some other things on the couch,
Yeah.
have some food.
Sorry.
Eat some food.
Eat some food.
Yeah, we need a meal prep for the week.
On the couch.
On the couch.
So that's sometimes like the battle that I face is like, it's so easy to want to...
that I face. On the couch. On the couch.
Don't tell me you don't agree.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do every single time we're home. We're
Correct.
not doing anything else.
Yeah, no, I've fought many a battles on that couch. On your couch.
I don't want to know about
Well, on
those
our
before on my
couch.
couch.
But yeah,
No.
but yeah, so finding the time to do it is probably one of the struggles.
It's
Yeah.
such a struggle. Yeah.
No.
I think for us it's a separate challenge itself to get it choreographed in the sense of like when you choreograph things yourself, and you guys know this, sometimes you just get used to choreographing something you're comfortable with or something you do all the time. Whereas if you get someone else to do it, it's like an outside perspective and they put you in, different moves and positions you wouldn't have really thought of.
Yeah.
But
Previously.
you can still go to like a hip hop guy or watch a couple of YouTube moves or like, do some other things to inspire you on your own dance stuff without getting someone to fully choreograph it too, which I understand. I think we definitely grew through doing our own.
Oh yeah.
It's just finding the time to do that is harder.
Requires something different than like if it's choreographed. I think it's really interesting. I like that point because I recently I wasn't sure if this was exactly what was happening, but I kind of felt this. And like when I was doing choreo, we were like changing some things, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, are we changing this because the choreo itself isn't good, or is it like we're changing it because it's not working well? And like at what point is it like, do we just keep pushing through to see if we can get to a point where this works? Or do we just scratch that and change it to something else that works better? And it's like, is the first option bad because it's just bad choreo, or is it just we haven't trained it enough for it to look good? And it's like, how much effort do we put into one thing before kind of like giving into like changing it? And I think I had a moment where I was like, I kind of want to leave this in. It's like, it's fucking up every time and it's not working, but I think it'll be cool and I feel like I could be able to, like I should be able to do it.
potential.
And it looks like there could be potential in, but it just keeps messing up and it's not working. I'm like, at what point do I just like,
scrap it.
is it like even actually a good idea? And does it look good? Or is it like, is it worth keeping in? Or is it like, and I guess kind of like the thought behind that was like, am I just changing choreo to make it easier for myself? And like, am I kind of like staying within my own realm and not making it too challenging?
You want it to be like challenging at the same time, not just easy.
Yeah.
And what is this a struggle you're still having, or have you made a decision now?
Not too much. I think that specific thing I did actually end up taking out, which is fine. I think it was not like the most not amazing. It just wasn't overly necessary, so it was fine. But at least with our process, it's such a tedious way we like train, where we'll like or at least now, once like all the choreo is done, we'll just like go through one section. And where we're training, we don't have like mirrors or anything, so we have to film it and then review the video. And it'll be, we'll just like take a video of us doing one section.
Which takes even more time.
Yeah.
And then it's literally like, you do the section, you record it, you just make notes of what felt good and what didn't feel good. Then you watch the video and then compare it to that. It's like, did this kind of match up with what I was feeling? And if certain things didn't look right, then you like just note that and try to fix it on the next round. And then you film it again.
Yep.
And exactly the same thing. And we literally just do that back and forth, taking like 50 videos on one section. And then once we're happy with it, we'll move on to the next part.
Yep.
And we just keep doing that over and over until we've gone over the entire routine. And then we do it again.
Yep.
And then as we're doing that, we're also like changing choreo or tweaking things or adding things in that like work better. And like the choreo, when we initially finished the choreo for the routine we're currently doing, it actually looks so different to what it is now because we've changed most things through that process.
Yeah.
But it's like ultimately like way better than it was when we had finished the choreo initially.
Cool.
So yeah, yeah, it'll be cool. I'm very excited.
So I think the hardest part, even another hard part that I didn't even think about, for someone that might be out there wanting to do routines, getting a partner first.
Yeah, it's a minor point.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's kind of useful.
Yeah.
You only just ended up with a dance partner, really, like a probably one that you've done more than just one routine with now.
Yeah.
This year? Last year?
Last year.
Last year
So
now.
so Shani moved May last year,
Yeah.
and then we basically just started
Yeah.
straight away. We didn't start with like our lean back routine, but we did like a short one. Like I think The Buzz was the song we choreoed to.
Yes.
Like the first one we did like that. Just to kind of see how it would be, like it would work out. We can like see how we work together.
Yeah, do we not collaborate or
how
do
does
we
it
kind of
work?
work in the same way? Yeah.
And we've definitely grown since then. It's like there's much better communication,
Do
I
you
guess.
guys fight? Have you guys had a fight?
Not
Yeah.
really, no.
No?
There'll be like I think with moments, and especially because we're spending so much time together for so long. It's like there's moments where you can feel the frustration.
It'd be a bit awkward.
Or like not awkward. We're pretty upfront with how like things are feeling, or we're like for the most part, we're just trying to be super honest with everything. And like if this is not something we like, then like just like being upfront, because like at least for myself, and like I think similarly for her, we're really easy going when it comes if we're just like upfront with everything we're feeling. I don't think we've like in regards to choreo, no, never fought. Just like tiredly been like low energy and kind of like over like the training and stuff. Maybe like that's happened, but not like any.
I feel like
fights.
that's us generally.
Yeah, but the difference
Tired.
is I can't like go home and have separation. We go
Come
home
home
together.
together.
So it's like you gotta figure out a way.
Yeah, we do.
Make it work.
Yeah, we do. We
yeah.
go home to the couch.
Oh, it's a meal prep.
Yeah, eat some food, watch some
eat some
movies.
food on the couch.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything that like we could give as advice to everyone that wants to do routines and stuff like that? I think doing routines is a great.
Yeah.
Whether you get them choreographed, whether you don't, I think you should
There's
try
no
both.
right and wrong with that, but yeah, try both.
I definitely think.
The only thing I will say, if you do get something choreographed, you still have to make it your own.
Oh yeah.
So like you can't just take choreography and do it like, you know, step for step. You've got to add things in and give it your own flavor as well at the same time.
Would you say, I heard this the other, I think it was last year, maybe even before that. Would you say you are a routine dancer or a Jack and Jill dancer?
I'm a Jack and Jill dancer, I think.
Same.
Yeah, I feel more of like a Jack and... It's all... Actually, now that I've started doing routines, it's kind of hard to say. Because I think the choreo that we do
Is awesome.
is like...
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It's very... Like, I think it's very cool. It's a lot less... I think on like the patterns and stuff we're leading aren't like insanely complicated, difficult things to do. But like I think the individual movement part, or like we're bringing a lot of like solo movement into it.
Yeah, your isolations and your popping and locking. And,
yeah. Which is, I think, kind of like the balance of that, or at least that feels like a lot more effort for me. But so like, and I don't know. I've only, and I guess like in this like kind of new era of my choreo, like my routine stuff, I've only really done the one, plus the next one that will come out later in a few weeks. And then, but I've just done more Jack and Jill, so I think I feel more comfortable, or at least I know what I can do on a Jack and Jill stage. And like I'm still kind of learning the choreo business type stuff, so
yeah.
going
What about
for
you, Meta?
love routines, but at the same time, they scare me to death. I hate them.
Maybe that's why we don't do very much training.
So, there's that element. Like, I love being able to like visualize a song and actually choreograph things to it and create emotional responses and, challenge myself in that space. But it's just the performing it part is so scary.
I think also like coming back into what you're saying before with fighting or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever like fought. We've got frustrated and stuff, like we're not getting things, I'm not doing well, you're not doing well. And we might
That's
take it
not
out.
true. I never don't do well.
So I think it's also like when you said you like being able to visualize what you want to do and everything. I think that's why I like pro-ams so much as well, because they want to see what we're thinking.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool like to put on myself when I've done them to be like, okay, we need to make this the best pro-am I can make it for this person. Challenge myself with my abilities to bring this person up as high as I can. How do I do that? What patterns are we going to do? We have some dances every now and again, all that sort of stuff. Whereas, and then the AM is very, very open to just trying completely random things that they've never tried before.
Yeah.
Whereas when we're doing it together, we've danced so many routines together that if both of us haven't tried it, it's that next level of like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Is this right? Is this wrong? Does it even look any good?
It's the blind leading the blind right now.
Yeah.
Let's see how we go. Whereas like
Yeah.
if one of you can trust the other one to kind of be like, cool, I'm just going to keep trying to do what you want me to do. I'm going to do that. It's my fault if it doesn't work. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like at this case, we're both blaming each other because we both don't know what we're talking about sometimes.
Well, that's it, because I guess in a pro-am, being, I guess, the pro, you've got a lot more control, or at least you're feeling a lot more in control of like what's going on, as opposed to, I guess, when you're trying new things together with a partner.
Which you can still do with a pro-am, but they still look up to in the sense of like, you're leading the
know
way.
The answers.
Yeah.
They're very rewarding.
Because they're like, the AM's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm glad they do. And then you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but they think I do, so that's fine.
That's okay then.
Yeah.
And even like, I think it's a fun balance to play. I definitely think I'm more of a social / Jack and Jill dancer too, creativity wise and just having fun, let loose.
Yeah.
But I do love putting on a show, so that's why I love the routines.
Yeah.
I think doing a routine kind of makes me feel like I'm in a box, if that makes sense, because you're set and you got to do this type of choreography. But it's super rewarding if it looks cool and it does well.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think also just in terms of talking about tips, two more things that come to mind. So whenever you are choreographing, you don't have to necessarily start at the beginning of the song. Like, you can start at any point of the song. Like, if you have a clear vision for a certain moment in the song, you can start there and then work backwards or forwards from that moment. The other thing is figuring out if your routine is going to be for a show or if it's going to be for a competitive piece of art.
Yeah.
So you'd have 4 lifts, 6.
So if we're doing classic, you can have 7 weight-supported moves now.
Yep.
No more than 8 counts apart, and you have to touch after 32 counts of the song starting. So there's actual rules and restrictions that exist among that. Same with showcase. Yeah, that's what I get frustrated with because we're now.
I'm like, I'm just gonna tap you somewhere now because I have to.
So he's gonna touch my butt at one part of the song, just literally because we have to just touch at some point.
That's gonna go well at the open.
Woo! Choreographed with purpose,
Yeah, with purpose.
And then, if you want to do a showpiece, obviously, like the way more you guys are going, then it's anything goes, really.
Literally, I think we, like, at least for us, we are pretty early on, we're like, I'm not overly concerned about, like, with competing with routines. Not that that's really much of a space of competing with routines in Australia.
It was before COVID.
It was before COVID. But hopefully we can kind of, like, build that back up.
We even possibly have a
coming
sponsor to sponsor the, like, Australian tour to go to the open.
Actually,
that would be really cool.
Potentially. Wait, that's not, it's like a maybe thing at the moment, I think.
That's not even a thing that's happening on the radar at all.
By the time this is out, maybe there will be more information.
Maybe,
let's watch this space.
And then, if not, maybe all of this will be redacted. So, redacted.
Redacting.
What are we being redacted from?
It would be no. It doesn't.
What does that even mean?
Redacted.
Redacted, like taken away.
Taken
from.
away.
Oh,
Removed.
from this
Like-
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cancel culture.
Yeah.
Cancel us.
Almost.
We're saying too much.
Basically. Yeah.
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 We don't agree with MackZaddy. Shut him down.
Shut them down.
Put him into prison.
Cancel. Wait.
Yeah.
Quick thumbnail.
Thumbnail.
But that's, I think, yeah, a good point. Or not a good point, just, no, it is a good point. Sorry.
Figure it out, man.
It's maybe a good point. No, so what I'm just saying is just, at least for us, it'll get there. Look, it'll all make sense.
We're waiting.
We're waiting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be good. Well, now I've got all the pressure of it being good.
I'm still waiting for what you're talking about.
So, basically what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you don't have to make routines for competition.
No.
Is I think the good thing to think about.
It's a great
just like
space to be
it's
creative.
if you want to, like absolutely go for it. It's like it just gives you more limitations, which is almost like another thing you have to like contest your creativity within like specific limitations.
Absolutely.
The way we kind of went with it, we were like, I'm not overly planning to compete with like our last routine or this one. And I think creatively, I'd kind of want just like full freedom with whatever kind of goes. So we're not really thinking about the rules or like in like a competition space, which is really fun. I think on a creative sense, it's like
Also, like if you're Nicole and Thibault, that's what they were doing when during COVID. They were putting out lots of short routines.
yeah,
And you do that on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. That shit's gonna be seen by everyone.
yeah,
And then if it's good curry, then you make it into a routine eventually. Sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even the same as you guys, you did a short one at the start.
Yep.
You've done your second one, which was the
The lean back one was our second, or was there another one?
no, the one that you did at NZO.
Oh yeah. What was that one? Feeling myself. Yeah, that was a good
No,
one.
just
At
well, how
NZO?
many routines have you done with Joshua?
We've done a few. So we did one in Perth. We did one at NZO. We did lean back. We did the buzz. We've done
Oh,
this new
some
one,
of
and
those are
we've done a
like
team
routines
routine.
you just like
Oh,
taught,
yeah.
though.
Okay.
Yeah. Or just
yeah.
things we've
Right.
choreoed together in terms of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pieces.
Gotcha.
NZO we did lean back.
Oh god.
And then
Well,
like
then if we add all that
I
together, fuck.
don't even know.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, those I would love to do things like that because.
I love doing those at events too. It's so fun.
I've actually got to
at
say,
events.
like, and this is something I had not quite felt before because I hadn't done routines or like taught people routines. But I think the first time I felt it was when we taught in Perth. We did like this really basic routine and we taught everyone and performed it. And there was
And you're like, why can't you body roll the same as me? Or why can't you pop and lock the same as me? Because I've never done it before.
Well, no, not actually. Like, and this again was just like something I felt after the beginner routine that we taught like 2 weeks ago. It's like just watching everyone doing your choreo.
it's quite rewarding, hey.
It's such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
I remember like every time I've done it and watched everyone do it and it's like working, it's just like the feeling of that is like, holy
So
shit, this is
proud.
really
What
fucking
about
cool.
watching people cry about doing a routine?
Yeah, that feels pretty fucking cool as well.
Different type of crying.
No, it's a journey, it's an
I
experience.
think it's a beautiful thing that
Yeah.
like people can
Yeah.
overcome that too, and being the one that motivates and encourages the people to push through that boundary and come out the other side smashing it. I think
Yeah.
is really rewarding for the teachers and also the students. So it's really cool
Yeah.
feeling.
No, that's it, yeah. And it's like, it's just so cool to watch everyone. Like, they're all doing your choreo, and I think pretty successfully. Specific, like about the team routines we just taught. Like, I was watching everyone, it was just like, damn, this is so cool. Everyone's like in sync, all of these moves. It just like, it made me love the choreo more, just watching everyone do it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is really cool.
Let's do an episode later on like talking about teaching, like routines and just in general teaching, how we go about doing
Because
that.
there's definitely like a plan and a structure that goes into place for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort that goes into that as well.
Yeah.
Not just the routine side. So I think that can be its own topic.
Yep, for sure.
Are you guys good to end it there? We
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
pretty cool.
That was awesome, guys.
I
Cheers.
like it. I like
But yeah.
this stuff.
Any
Very
further
cool.
questions? Hit us up in the comments.
Do you want to say
Hit
that
us
again?
up in the comments.
Hit us up in the comments. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.